Hey, are we rolling?
Mhm.
On? Wonderful. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Maximizing Your Experience at the ATALM Conference. My name is Ryan Flahive, and I serve as the chair of the Native Emerging Professionals Network, or NEPN. My day job, I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico at the Institute of American Indian Arts, where I serve as archivist and museum studies faculty. Very happy to have you all here today. Thanks for joining us. Whether this is your first ATALM conference or your 10th, this webinar is designed to give you the tools and confidence you need to make the most of your time in Cherokee, North Carolina this October. Our goal is to make sure you feel informed, connected, and excited. We thank you for investing this time and hope your conference experience will be richer because of it. So let's get started. Is that another slide? No? Okay. Today you're going to hear from ATALM staff and seasoned attendees about everything from navigating the conference space to connecting to the Huova app to making the most of your networking and the exhibit hall and the evening events. Joining me today are the ATALM staff, Susan Feller, President and CEO, Melissa Brandt, Chief of Operations, Jessica Cordes, Director of Grant and Special Projects, and a special thanks to our guest, Jeannie Bracco, Conservator and Curator with Museum Consultants of Santa Fe, and Jennifer Wan, Assistant Director of Community Engagement at the Arizona State Museum in Tucson. Both are longtime ATALM conference attendees here to help you get some more information. Now I'd like to share a brief history of the ATALM conferences with you. We started producing conferences about 15 years ago in an effort to advance Indigenous cultural institutions and support professionals in their essential work. Today, the conferences bring together thousands of participants from across Native nations to share best practices, celebrate successes, and collectively strengthen our cultural heritage institutions. So just a few words about the NEPN and the Mentor Program. NEPN is a free, open network that supports emerging leaders in archives, libraries, museums, and other cultural work. The link to join us was just dropped in the chat and is also in the agenda shared with you via email. Through the Mentor Program, new professionals are paired with experienced colleagues for guidance and support. The deadline to join the 2025 Mentor Program is tomorrow, September 10th. There is a form in the chat. I would appreciate it if everybody, if you haven't done so already, go in, register to become a mentor, take that link, send it to your network, have them register to be mentor. We need more folks in this program if they're coming to the conference. If you are part of the program this year, don't miss the mentor reception on Monday evening. It's a great way to kick off the week, get to know your mentor, get to meet some other folks. There is a link in the agenda and in the chat, just went up. This year's distinguished artist is Shanga Shorn, a citizen of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians and a master of double weave basketry. Her work combined traditional techniques with archival documents and narratives to address urgent issues facing Native communities. Her piece, Reclaiming Our Power, is featured on the program book cover, and you can learn more about it on page 5 of the program book, which is linked in the chat. Now let's talk about some evening events. The great news for this year is that almost all the evening events have free admission. On Monday the 6th from 6 to 7, we'll have our NEPN Mentorship Social Hour. And we encourage everyone who's part of this mentorship program and or the NEPN to join us. That link for the sign up to join us for some hors d'oeuvres is in the chat. Tuesday the 7th is a pre-conference field trip and workshop day. If you haven't signed up for this yet, please, but plan to attend a pre-conference, there is still availability for a few workshops. Click on the link in the chat to see what's available and sign up. It's a great way to build your toolbox. On Tuesday evening, the Institute of American Indian Arts, me and my colleagues, are hosting a reception for all alumni, staff, and community members and partners, which we consider to be everybody, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. So please join us poolside, and we'll have a nice conversation. And then starting that same evening, right after that reception, is the in the Cherokee Event Center is the Cherokee Cultural Event and Social Dance. No ticket is necessary to join the general admission area on the fourth level. Attendees are welcome to join the fun when the social dances are called. On Wednesday evening, the 8th, join us for a special screening and discussion of the powerful documentary Imagining the Indian. Patron and VIP levels are already sold out, but general admission on the fourth level of the event center is still available and does not require a ticket. Our final event, and the most fun event, is a Glow Bowl-orama on Thursday evening from 7 to 9. This event takes place in the Ultra Star Bowling Alley located within Harrah's Cherokee Casino. It will be a fun night of cosmic bowling, music, and a chance to win prizes, fabulous prizes. There are few spots available, so sign up today as an individual or as a team. More information's in the chat. There is a link. And to learn more about all these events, go back into the chat and find the link to the program book. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have a huge thank to our funders: the Institute of Museum and Library Services, the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation, the Ford Foundation, and the Margaret A. Cargill Foundation, along with our exhibitors, advertisers, event sponsors, and donors. We hope this session gives you the tools and confidence to fully enjoy ATALM 2025. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat or bring them up during the Q&A, which will come after our presentations. So for now, I'm going to turn this mic over to Melissa Brandt, ATALM Chief Operating Officer, who will walk us through the exhibit space.
Thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you everyone for being here today. We are very excited to welcome you to Cherokee. It is a very large property, as you can see from this layout. We have all this information in the back of our program book, so you can use the QR code or check the link that we dropped into the chat. I'm going to kind of just point out a few areas, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and then we can answer them later on towards the Q&A part of the session. Okay, so starting things out, when you first arrive at the property, again, going to need to check into your hotel. And so I have a little pointer right here. Oh, oops, actually, I went back. So sorry. Okay, we have a little pointer right here. This is the Cherokee Tower. This map shows the first floor of the property. And the Cherokee Tower, if you're staying there, this is the lobby. This is where you check in. The Cherokee Tower has lots of activities happening in it. It's where a lot of our sessions take place and our meals. If you are not staying in the Cherokee Tower, you may be in the Overflow Hotel area, which is the resort tower. And so that's on kind of the other side of the property. And I'm pointing at it right here, still on the first floor, but on the other side. So we'll keep going back to the resort tower as we talk about this stuff. Okay, so next we have, coming back to the Cherokee Tower, you can see we have on the first floor, this is the exhibition hall. This is where all the meals are served. And outside of that, we have our wonderful native art market. We have about 25 native artists this year, so be sure to check them out. We have the field trip busload area right outside of the Cherokee lobby. And then we'll kind of go ahead and keep talking about the meeting space. So coming over here on the other side to the third floor of the Cherokee Hotel, just a quick note, there are no meeting sessions on the second floor. The second floor is just kind of like an open space in the Cherokee Tower. So if you're on the first floor, you'll take an escalator up. There's a second floor landing area, but you want to go ahead and go on up to the third floor to actually access the meeting rooms and the registration desk, as well as our exhibit hall. So as you can see, we've kind of pointed out here all the registration area and exhibit hall. And we have also on this, so this is all we have for the third floor. If you want to kind of look at the second floor here, if you do stop in there, we have our wonderful Smithsonian exhibit that is being shown that you can check out as you're walking through the area. And if you're taking sessions in the Caring for Indigenous Collections Institute, those actually take place over in the resort tower right here on the second floor. And so we're going to kind of discuss that a little bit about how you walk between the two areas right now. So let's see, best way to do that. Okay. So what we're going to do is when you're wanting to get to the second area, the collections area, you'll actually go up to the second floor of the Cherokee Tower. And there's a long hallway where you see right here. So you see the Smithsonian exhibit. You'll pass by this tower shop. And then there's something called the Cherokee Connector. There's signs everywhere, and we're going to make sure we have extra signage available to kind of guide you all through. And so then you just kind of take a nice long walk through the resort area to get to this other resort, this Council Fire ballroom side or meeting room side to access those institutes. All right. A few other things to note. If you are signed up for any of the evening events, those also take place on the second floor in the event center. You can see that right here. And then if you're doing our fun bowling night, that is on the first floor in the Ultra Star Entertainment Center. Now I'm going to kind of show you guys a closer look at the meeting space that is on the third floor. So like I said, if you're staying in the Cherokee Tower or even, either tower, no matter what, you're going to come down to the first floor of the exhibition or of the Cherokee Tower to start accessing the meeting rooms. You'll come up to the third floor, and that's where we have meeting rooms 101 to 112, as well as the registration desk and our exhibit hall. The escalators are actually really handy. They're just down here by the registration and volunteer desk area. So right when you come up the escalator, you'll see registration. It's kind of all contained in this one area. So pretty easy to access. And then next, I'm going to show you the layout. One quick note about this meeting area. We also have, our round tables, posters, and exhibit booths in the middle area. Okay, and then we're going to take a quick look at the meeting space over in the resort tower. So this is if you're taking part in any of the Caring for Indigenous Collections Institute. This is the Council Fire meeting rooms. Like I said, you'll access that from the second floor, walking over to that other resort tower side. I definitely encourage you that if you have sessions over here, like take a walk in advance to make sure you know the way over there. It'll really alleviate a lot of stress if you kind of get a lay of the land first. Okay, so now moving on, we're going to talk about our exhibit hall for a minute. This is the map of the exhibit hall. This year we have 54 exhibitors. To learn more about the exhibitors that are participating, go to page 70 of the program book. We try to provide ample opportunity to visit the exhibitors. We serve coffee and tea early in the morning, about 30 minutes before breakfast starts. So go in there, grab some coffee, visit with them before you head on down to the first floor to have breakfast. We also have breaks on Wednesday and Thursday in the morning afternoons that allows you time to interact with them. One of the fun things that we have in the exhibit hall is our raffle prizes. We have listed in our program book all of the booths that are participating in the raffle prizes. When you check in at the registration desk, you can request to have 10 raffle tickets, and then what you'll do is you'll write your name on the back of them and then go through the participating exhibit booths and drop in on the prize that you're interested in winning. The raffle prize drawing takes place on Thursday afternoon break. You do have to be present to win, so make sure that you stop in that afternoon during that break time and to win a prize. So all of those prizes are listed in the program book. Sometimes we even have extra prizes that pop up, so just keep an eye out in the exhibit hall and make sure you don't miss it. In addition to raffle prizes, exhibit booths in this area, we also have our roundtables that take place during the 200 and 700 sessions. And we have our posters, which take place on Wednesday from 10:45 to 11:45 a.m. All right. So, if you have any questions about any of the space, just drop it in chat or keep it in your mind, and you're welcome to ask later towards the end of this presentation. I will now turn it over to Jess to go over our conference desk services.
All right. Thank you so much, Melissa, and thank you everyone for being here. I am looking forward to welcoming you all to Cherokee next month. So one of the first things that you will do is that you need to come in and check into the conference at the registration desk, which is located on the third floor lobby area of the Cherokee Convention Center. We're going to open the desk on Monday afternoon from 1 to 5 to allow those of you with those early morning pre-conference field trips or workshops to pick up your registration packet. Throughout the conference, the desk will be open mainly from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we only close during the meals so our volunteers can enjoy the programming too. So at the registration desk, you will tell one of our volunteers your name so they can locate your name badge. Once you get the name badge, you need to be wearing it during all conference activities. Inside your name badge are event tickets for pre-conference field trips, your workshops, and/or your evening events. Also included is your meal ticket for breakfast and lunch. We're doing something new this year, so you're going to have one ticket for breakfast and lunches on Wednesday and Thursday. So you will present that ticket when entering the exhibition hall doors on the first floor of the Cherokee Convention Center, but you want to make sure that you retain this ticket as it is the one ticket to access all of the meals throughout the conference. You'll write your name on the back of the ticket and keep it secret, keep it safe, because these tickets, lost tickets, cannot be replaced. Before leaving the registration desk, you want to check your tickets and make sure that you keep all of them and that meal ticket where you can find them easily. If you have any problems or questions about your tickets, you'll get out of the registration line and come see me at the ATALM help desk. As Melissa just covered, you can pick up those sets of 10 raffle tickets when you pick up your name badge. You'll go through the exhibit hall, visit the exhibitor donating the prize you wish to win, write your name on it, deposit in the ticket. Again, those prizes will be drawn at the afternoon break on Thursday in the third floor exhibit hall of the Cherokee Convention Center. You can also get additional raffle tickets by posting on social media using the hashtag ATALM2025. Your registration packet also includes our custom designed tote bag, a copy of the printed program book, and some conference flag items. Again, if there's any issues with your name badge or if you have questions regarding your registration, you'll want to find us at the conference help desk, which will be to the side of the registration area. This is also the place where you will check about any tickets for any of the sold out events, drop off any lost and found items, and report any issues during the conference. We have the help desk number on the screen right here, and it's also included in the back of the program book. So now that we've got you all checked into the conference, I'm going to turn things back over to Melissa Brott so she can talk about how to make the most of your conference experience.
All right, thank you, Jess. Okay, now we're just going to talk about a few like program books and the sessions and kind of get you familiar with that. As you can see, you've had a link to the program book, so I hope you spend some time browsing through that. Start marking the sessions you want. You'll notice that we have color codes for each of our primary focus areas, which are archives, historic preservation, language, libraries, and museums. So make note of that as you're looking through. And then for each session description, we have the room number listed over here to the left with a green arrow. And then below that, we have our professional development certificate codes, which we'll talk about a little more in just a moment. And then this yellow arrow kind of shows the session description or session number that you need to look for. And then we have our title and, of course, the date and time that the session takes place. And all of this information is in the program book, and it is also in our Whova app, which Jess will talk about a little further in just a moment. All right, then we have our professional development certificate program. This year we're offering 10 different certificates: artist support, building capacity, collections care, engagement and promotion, facility and exhibit design, model projects, oral history, partnerships and collaborations, shared stewardship and ethical returns, and technology innovations. If you have not yet signed up, I encourage you to do so. I think Jess is going to drop the link in the chat. It's also included on your agenda, and then this QR code to all the details of how to earn a certificate, is available at that link. But it's pretty easy. You just go to the sessions that are listed in your certificate. If you need to swap out a few sessions, there's also the ability to view extra materials to make up for those hours. So we try to keep it simple so that people can participate easily. All right. Then next we have a little slide about our volunteers. We are so appreciative of our volunteers. I mean, they're what makes this conference run. We cannot be in all the places at one time. Here's a few pictures of all of our volunteers helping check people in over the years. We're still looking for volunteers, so you can scan that QR code. We're going to also be sending out a message tomorrow, I do believe, to all of our conference attendees, encouraging you to volunteer, but we have opportunities such as conference prep, registration desk, room monitors, photography, ticket monitors, and social media. So there's something for everyone. And, I think volunteering is a really great way to, get closer to other people who are attending the conference, especially if you've never been before or you don't know a lot of people. It's a good way for people to start budding up. All right, and then a few more little tips about the conference. We want to make sure you wear your name badge at all times, so we know you're supposed to be in that area and we know your name. We really encourage you to plan ahead, check out the session or the program book, kind of, decide what sessions you're going to take, especially if you're, doing sessions between the sessions that are taking place in the Cherokee Tower versus the Resort Tower. So you know how to get over there. Take breaks. If you're tired, feeling overwhelmed, it's a lot sometimes, 1,200 people always moving around everywhere. We definitely want you to be comfortable. Wear comfortable shoes because we all do a lot of walking. And, sometimes meeting rooms can get kind of chilly or, so just bring a little sweater, wear some comfortable shoes, and you should be all set. And then we definitely want you to utilize our Whova app. It's been a really great way for people to create their own schedules, and Jess will kind of talk about how to do that more shortly. But, it's a good way you can reach out to people you meet. There's a messaging app. You can, check out the presenters' bios. We have property maps, everything in there. We also try to send out notifications as throughout the conference to let you know something is happening. So be sure that when you receive the information about Whova that you go ahead and sign up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn this back over to Jess to talk about the app.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Okay, as she said, our ATALM 2025 event will be using the Whova app to enhance your conference experience. Whova allows attendees to organize your conference schedules, communicate with other attendees, receive conference announcements, upload photos, and just a whole lot more. So we're going to get into it. Today, I'm going to go over how to sign into the ATALM 2025 Whova event, how to view the program and plan your schedules, how to find and network with other attendees, and just a few other key features of this app. But the first step is to make sure that you download the Whova app to your phone using these QR codes on the screen, or that's for the Apple Store or for Google Play. We also have this information available on our website, and I'll drop that link in the chat for you. Okay, to sign into the ATALM 2025 event in Whova, you will need to enter the email address you used on your registration form. This is super important. We have entered in all of your information from your registration form. So if you are using Whova for a different conference and you had it under a different email address and you want to use the same account, you'll have to let me know to change those emails. So please use the registration changes form or email us directly at conference@atalm.org. If this is your first time with the Whova app, you will want to set up your profile and create an easy to remember but secure password. Take some time to review and edit your details if needed. Other attendees can see this and they will be using that information to network with you. So the app should take you to the conference page automatically. In the case that it does not, you will use the Find My Event function and search for ATALM 2025. You will need the invitation code that will be sent via email following this webinar. Again, if you have any issues or questions, reach out to us at conference@atalm.org. During the conference, if you're having issues with Whova, you can stop by the help desk and I'll help sort you out. All right, so once you are all signed in to the ATALM event, you can now use the agenda tab at the bottom of the screen to view the entire conference schedule. From here, there are a few different ways to browse or search for sessions. To casually browse through all of the sessions and the events and the programs, you'll want to navigate through the calendar dates at the top of your screen. I've got them circled in the little picture. You can also browse or search for the session by using the tracks and the filters function. The tracks and filters have been set up to reflect the focus areas in the professional development certificate program tracks. So for example, say that you're enrolled in collections care or you're attending the Caring for Indigenous Collections Care Institute workshops. You can select collections care in the tracks and filters to only see those sessions. You can also use the search bar by clicking that magnifying glass in the top corner of your screen to look up specific key terms or interests. For this next example, we typed in library, and that will pull up all of the sessions throughout the program that have the word library in it. So once you find the session you want to attend, you'll click Add to Agenda to put the session on your personal schedule and set up calendar reminders. You can click the session to view the full description, see the list of presenters, and participate in session Q&A to meet other attendees. And this is a great way to start networking with other attendees before you even arrive in Cherokee. But wait, there's more, y'all. You can also use Whova to see everyone coming to the ATALM event by clicking Attendees tab at the bottom of your screen. To find people with common backgrounds and interests, use the Recommended tab. As you can see from my example, some of the connections are auto-populated based on the information that we have from your registration forms. So we encourage you to get the app to add your specific interests in here to make sure that you find and connect with all the right people. So once you have found an old or a new friend, you can use the message button to start a private chat or click say hi to initiate a conversation. Another way to connect with attendees is through the conference discussion boards under the community tab. From here, you can join existing topics or create new conversations. For the topics that you want to stay up to date with, you'll click follow. And once you do that, you can now navigate quickly to your follow topics by using the tabs at the top of the screen. Okay, so before I wrap up the Whova discussion, I want to quickly go over some of the additional resource tabs on the ATALM 2025 event home screen. First up is the Whova leaderboard. This is an interactive feature that tracks your engagement during the conference and you earn points for various activities. The people with the most points are going to show up at the top of this leaderboard. This year, we are going to announce a Whova leaderboard winner at the closing ceremony, and that person's going to receive a $100 Amazon gift card. Bang, 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 money, money, money. So if you're interested in that, you will definitely want to check out the leaderboard and the ways to increase your rankings under My Points. A quick reminder for this leaderboard contest, the rankings are based on the quality of engagement. So we want you to please share thoughtfully, respectfully, do not spam up our discussion boards, okay? All right, so one of the ways that you can score points is to upload photos and videos that you want to share with other ATALM attendees. And you can do that by clicking the Photos tab under the additional resources. As you can see, the resources section also has information on connecting to the Wi-Fi network. We also have an interactive property map so you can find your way around very quickly. There's also a quick link so you can see all of the ATALM 2025 presenters, important documents such as our accessibility policy. If you're going to the CISNA summit, we have the briefing document loaded in there. And definitely, like, there's a whole lot more that I couldn't even fit in this screenshot. So when you get that Whova invitation code that's going to be sent via email, we urge you to go ahead, download the Whova app, sign into the 2025 event, and start testing out all those features and start getting those points. Okay, if you have any questions, contact us via email. You can contact us via the app or that conference help desk phone number. All right. So I'm going to turn things back over to Ryan as he moderates a panel about some of our favorite and seasoned ATALM attendees. Ryan?
Wonderful.
The floor is yours.
Thank you, Jess. All right. So Jeannie and Jennifer are going to join me. We want to stop sharing our screen so we can see folks. Wonderful. All right. So we're going to do a little networking tips here. We're going to have a little conversation. Hopefully we have some good Q&A afterwards. If anything comes up on Q&A, drop it in the chat and we'll hit it afterwards. I want to start with you, Jeannie. Meal times and social gatherings are great networking opportunities. What is one intentional strategy that you use to make meaningful connections during meals?
Oh, let's see. Well, I was thinking about one of my early ATALM meetings and remembering a very embarrassing moment in the Make the Most of Meetings category. 10 of us from Fort Lewis were sitting at one table, and in the middle of the round table, Roger Willie, one of our group, raised his hand, and people thought he wanted to contribute to the round table. But no, what he said was, "Good morning, everybody. I would like to introduce you to my group from Fort Lewis." And so he proceeded to tell everything we didn't want people to know about us and made us all stand up. And even though it was an embarrassing moment, after that, everyone knew who we were. So what I want to say is, you may not have a Roger Willie at your table to introduce you to the whole world, but you may want to be a little more subtle and work up the courage to introduce yourself to the people at your table. Remember that the most important thing at ATALM is we are all in this together. ATALM has worked very hard to change the landscape of the cultural, museum, library, and archives world. And you are now part of us and working towards that goal. When you walk into a room at ATALM, feel the power. It's there.
What a great tip. Yeah, definitely introduce yourself. That's wonderful, Jeannie. Jennifer, sustaining connections. Like we make these connections as we network at the conference and we try and, those of us who have been there, we always have these grand plans of collaboration. And then we just kind of lose it in our day-to-day work. What is one follow-up practice that you've found simple and effective to keep the momentum alive post-conference?
You're asking for one and I have like 18 bullets.
Give me your best ones.
Okay. Well, I really feel like you should always take your business cards with you. And as you're meeting people, if it was a great conversation, if it was something that stood out to you and you want to follow up, take quick notes on those business cards. Definitely send an email, handwritten note if you can, because those are always like super cool. You can even ask people if there was like a dueling interest session that you wanted to go to, but you missed. Send an email and be like, hey, is it possible to get a PowerPoint because I'm interested in this topic. I think it's super important that you share as many interests that you're involved in as possible to wherever you're like, when you're sitting somewhere, whether you're having a smoke or you're having a drink or you're sitting at lunch, you're in line, talk about what you like because people are going to remember. I think there's been many times over the years that I've gone where a conversation started maybe 2 years ago and then suddenly I'm here in line to get my plate of food and someone says, hey, aren't you that girl who did whatever? And then that conversation continues. And I really feel like our museum world, our archives, our libraries, the world is very small and it's powerful. So people will be able to explore their network and be able to share that with you afterwards. And I just wanted to say to all you newcomers, like your network is very valuable. Like don't downplay where you are in this place, in this world. Who you know could also help somebody else that's here at this conference. So definitely be willing to share that.
Great tips.
There's
Fabulous.
10 more.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
10 more. Well, I got another question for you, but to piggyback off what Jennifer's saying, let serendipity work for you. Put yourself in positions to meet new people. Put yourself in positions to meet people that can help you, and help everything that you do in your work. Like, this is a really, really great opportunity to put yourself just in position. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Just put yourself in a place where you don't know people and then introduce yourself. Who knows what's going to happen of it, right? Sometimes that's the best way to network and really get some work done. All right, so just for each of you, one favorite networking tip, something unique or unexpected that has personally worked for you.
I think for me, it's having a few icebreaker comments ready because I'm not always such a people person. Sometimes I'd rather be in the back reading a book. But comments like, "Hi, I'm Jeannie. This is my first ATOM. Have you been to these meetings before?" Or even something like, "I like your earrings. Did you get them from one of the artists here?" Have something ready, some questions that are sort of not going to offend anyone and might start a conversation. I think you also have to remember that there is no pecking order at ATOM. You may be sitting at a table with museum directors, with the keynote speaker, but we are all on equal ground here. We are all just as important to the field and just as important to the connections that we want to make at the meeting. So, just remember that you are important to this organization.
Definitely. So one of the things I really appreciate as someone who's attended and as someone who has presented are the people that come up afterwards and say, like, this is what really stood out to me during your presentation or during this side conversation I was eavesdropping on. Those moments stand out to me. Sometimes they even give me the boost I need to carry the research to the next level. So don't be shy. Like, that feedback is super important, and it could help someone that maybe you think has it already figured out, right? Like, it's going to expand your network. It's going to keep the momentum going for someone else that might be burnt out on a project, Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Wonderful. Okay. One more question for both of you. When you first started ATOM, how did you network? What was one of the practices you used when you first got to ATOM?
I'd say I always wore my name tag, and I always looked at other people's name tags because, again, that was a good way to make a connection. I might see someone who worked at a museum I was always interested, or had a job that was really different from mine. So just don't always go for what's easy or what Sometimes go for something a little bit different.
I was 21. So I worked the bar. Like, it was so much fun to like buy a drink. One of my coworkers, we were all interns at the time. She had this brilliant mentor, and we bought him a top rank shot of whatever for his table, and we're just like, okay, like, this was really exciting, but it started a conversation. And I just feel like that's where people go to hang out, whether they're drinking alcohol or not. Like, there's just a lot of buzz and a lot of conversations going. And even if you just stop in and say, oh, hey, Jen H, how are you doing? Shake a hand, let her know that you're there and you'd love to catch up sometime during the conference. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. You say hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also the volunteering. I think one of the most fun things is the beginning of the meeting. If you're there early, you get to help stuff the bags, you get to help stuff the candy, you get into a room with a lot of people, have a lot of energy. Everyone wants to know what's going on, who are you, what's going to happen next. So if you have a chance to volunteer, do that. It's a really great way to meet people, have a little fun, and in a very casual way.
I was told early in my career by a great mentor that at conferences, most of the work happens after the sessions, happens in the evenings, it happens inside conversations, it happens at meals. So, don't lose those opportunities. Don't isolate yourself. Melissa, do we have any questions for Q&A?
See, Jennifer dropped in the comments that serving as a ticket monitor, for breakfast and lunch is a great way to network and compliment people. And I agree with that all
Yes.
the time. Love doing that.
Absolutely.
Let's see. We had another question. Scrolling through here. Okay, yes. Vanessa asked, what meals are provided during the conference? So when you registered, you selected whether or not you wanted breakfast and lunch on both days. If you signed up for that, you will have that one meal ticket in your badge that you will show at the door. You can always check with us if you are worried that you did not sign up for that. All right.
Are there any other questions from folks in Zoom land?
And you can drop it in the chat or feel free to come off mute.
If not, I'd really like to thank Jeannie and Jennifer for joining us today, sharing some insight. Looking forward to seeing both of you in a few weeks. It's going to be a wonderful event. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. And we hope this session has given you practical tips, insights, and inspiration to fully engage with ATALM 2025. Again, please take some time to review the program book. An invitation to join the WOVA app will be sent in a follow-up email. Be sure to sign up for the app. It will help you stay in touch with fellow attendees, plan your sessions, and familiarize yourself with available resources. If you have questions or further assistance, our team is here to support you. You'll also find a roster of attendees, speaker bios, a program book, and other information on the conference website at www.atalm.org. Remember, the conference is more than just sessions. It's about relationships, cultural exchange, and collective growth. Make time to connect with new people, share your story, and support one another throughout the week. On behalf of the Native Emerging Professionals Network, I encourage you to stay involved year-round, whether through NEPN, the Mentor Program, regional initiatives, or volunteer opportunities. Your participation strengthens the ATALM community. And don't forget the fun side of the conference. Join us for the Glow Bowl on Thursday night. It's $25 a person, gets you a pizza buffet, 90 minutes of bowling, shoe rentals, and an opportunity to win some very clever prizes. Can't wait to see you all in Cherokee. Travel safe. Come ready to share and learn, and let's make ATALM 2025 our best conference yet. Thank you all, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. See you.
See you in Cherokee. Safe travel.